what a year, huh? Hey, Yogi. This is Yogi. What a year. This is our last day of 2020. This is December 31st, New Year's Eve, 2020. And whew, what a year. Have you ever experienced a year like that? I'm sure it's a resounding no. So, what can we make of 2020 and what to think of 2020? Oh, okay, yeah, I'll give you some more love. This is Yogi, in case anybody doesn't know who Yogi is. What to make of 2020? Huh, Yogi? Yeah. What did you think of 2020? Was it okay for you? You think they know? Shanti's right over here like, 2020 came and went. I don't know anything about 2020. Yes, I love you too. Yes. And we have to look at 2020 now and just think about all the lessons we've learned. Think about all the growth we've done and be grateful for it. Really, to be grateful now. Instead of looking back and think, oh, that year sucked and it was terrible. It was the worst year of my whole life. It wasn't the worst year of your whole life, was it? Although Yogi was really lonely because he really missed all the people giving him constant attention at the retreats. The dogs were so sad for the first couple of months. They were literally depressed and crying, I think. They were crying, yeah. But because they missed all the attention they were getting from, there was like a lot of people here at the retreats, just everybody giving them attention and couldn't give them enough. And so I've been trying to give them as much attention as I can, but it can't compare to a whole bunch of people. But let's look back at 2020 and look at what we've grown, how we've grown, what we've learned, how we've changed, and what we got out of 2020. Because actually we did get a lot out of 2020. More than we might want to admit or believe. Because 2020, it was like the year of finishing your shadow work, finishing all the spiritual homework that we didn't finish before that, and put us all on the fast track. We also had to pull out every spiritual tool we had to stay sane through the whole thing and stay in one piece, mentally, emotionally, and physically through the whole thing. 2020 was a year of purging. We had to purge a lot of our shadows. We had to purge a lot of our systems, a lot of the way we did things. We had to really rethink ourselves and reinvent ourselves. We had to let so much go. 2020 was the challenge from hell. But it was a good thing, though. It was a catalyst for our evolution individually. It was a catalyst for every single one of us to get better at what we're doing, get better at our spiritual maintenance. If you weren't meditating through the whole thing, it was pretty hard to stay centered. If we weren't exercising, it was pretty hard to stay thin. If we weren't taking care of ourselves and learning how to take care of ourselves at a difficult time, especially being alone and not having all the things we're used to having, like the social gatherings and the social connection and our friends and our family around us, it was hard for just about everybody. Anybody who it wasn't hard for, you got lucky somehow. And I think that 2020 was probably one of the best things that could have happened to us in a way, because it put more people on a spiritual path than probably any other event in history has. I mean, when has there been a time when pretty much the entire population of the entire planet had to really look at themselves deep within, had to really, yeah, Yogi says, yes, it's true, me too. And how many events have happened that would be such a catalyst for evolution? It's funny that I saw a poster on Facebook. Did you hear this, Yogi? I saw this picture on Facebook that had a woman holding a sign where it said something like a world takeover triggers mass ascension or mass evolution or something like that. It was a good one. Oh, Yogi switched positions, so I have to move the camera so I can keep the star in the show. This is my star. It was a year of really getting down to the nitty-gritty of what's wrong with us, or what our problems are, what our shadows are, what our expectations are, what our dreams are that were maybe crashed for some people, what our plans were. Did you ever hear this saying, I had plans and God laughed? Well, 2020 was a big joke for anybody who was making plans, right? It was a life interrupted. But 2020, here's the end. This is the last day of 2020. This is the last day of 2020. So what I would suggest is that you really take today to think about everything you've learned. Maybe make a list. Write a list. I'm going to write a list of all the things I let go, all the things I learned, all the things I've changed, my new boundaries, the things that weren't working for me, that in the future I have to do differently so that it works better. Make a list of what 2020 gave to you, what the gifts were, what the teachings were. 2020 was the ruthless life teacher. I always say life is a ruthless teacher. And 2020 was the ruthless teacher year. Anything we hadn't finished, we had a real chance to take a quantum leap with it in 2020. So think about what you've learned. Think about what the catalyst of 2020 did for you. What did it catalyze? What did it catalyze? What did it trigger? What did it teach you? What did 2020 teach you? And some of us might be thinking, well, I didn't learn anything. I just suffered through the whole thing. No. I guarantee you learned a lot of stuff. Even if it might not feel like that right now. But you did, and it was good. Where are you going, Yogi? Where are you going? You going to 2021? You gonna go to 2021 now? Come here, Yogi. Come here. Come here. Come on, get back in the shot. Here. Okay. There's Yogi Meister. Oh, come here. Come here. And so 2021 gave us a lot. Gave us more than we know. Gave us more than we might want to admit. And it changed a lot of things. Old relations ended. We've lost friends over politics, and people were fighting like crazy on the internet. 2020 was a year of a lot of endings. A lot of things ended in 2020. Not to mention a life interrupted, and the fact that our plans and all of the things that we were doing ended. A lot of differences came up. The division in humanity really showed up. A lot of divisions really showed up, like the things concerning races, the things concerning politics, the things concerning how everybody thinks about medical stuff. And we really have to all look at these divisions and find a way to bridge the gap if humanity is going to have a good 2021. So let's think about how we can all come together in 2021, how we could all make it work, how we could all get along. You know, a long time ago, my mom and I, we'd always have these fights over politics and religion because I believe differently than she does, and our politics were a little different. Basically, I didn't have any politics, and she really wanted me to, be in a certain way. And finally, the way that I figured out how to get along with my mom was we just took those things off the table. We just said, all right, let's not talk about politics. Let's not talk about religion. Let's meet where we do get along and what we do love about each other. Right, Yogi? Yogi? Yogi, do you have any political opinions? Yogi, Yogi, do you have any political opinions? Do you have any idea of what's right and wrong? I know he knows that a piece of bread is right. So, especially when he's not supposed to have it at the retreats. He would always be there at the tables and the forbidden food. But I'd try to give him a piece of bread up where we feed him, and he wouldn't want it. He would only want it if he wasn't supposed to have it. So, we have to think about how we can do 2021 in a better way, in a different way. The differences between everybody is going to be the biggest challenge. This is the place we have to bridge the gap. Because even if people have different opinions and such, we still love them. Some of these people we really, really love. They're our family. They're friends we might have had for 25, 30 years. And we're going to throw away these connections over some differences in opinion. I know it's hard to imagine that we could all love each other with such big gaps in our opinions and big gaps in how we think. And each side thinks the other one is brainwashed and thinks the other side is just completely bonkers. But maybe we could appreciate that about each other. I don't know, maybe I'm dreaming, but it would be nice to see everybody get along. And Yogi, where you going? Where you going? Yogi. Psst, 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 psst. Yogi. Trying to get the dog back in the shot here. All right, come here, Yogi. So we have to really think about how we can do 2021 better. How can we do it better on a personal level? How can we do it better on a mass level? How can we be in this world better given the challenges that are here? There's a lot of challenges, that's for sure. Yes, you know, there's a lot of challenges. There's a lot of challenges, that's for sure. But we have to find a way to meet them more gracefully than we did in 2020. On a personal level, on a social level, in the world, everywhere. Right, Yogi? Right? Yeah? How you doing? What you doing? Where you going? You going to 2021 already? We aren't finished with 2020 yet. Yogi, where you go? Yogi, come here. Come here. Yeah, I know. I love you too. Yogi has been wanting a little bit of love and some expression of love because he's been so lonely because there aren't all the people at the retreats now. So, okay, I moved the camera again to get you back in the shot, Yogi. Yeah, because I guess Yogi wanted to be part of the saying goodbye to 2020. Yogi wanted to welcome 2021 with you and me. So, let's bring 2021 in without resentment toward 2020. Don't think of 2020 as a year that was terrible and it was awful and it was the year from hell. And I mean, people are saying a lot of things about 2020 that, you know, we're missing the point if we didn't see it as the gift that it is for giving us the lessons that we needed to learn. Right, Yogi? Did you learn any lessons in 2020? Did you learn lessons in 2020? You gonna learn some more lessons in 2021? You gonna be more graceful in 2021? Actually, Yogi did handle it all pretty gracefully. But we have to see how to find our grace, to find our beauty, to find our ability to handle things, our ability to, you know, to step up to the plate and really meet the challenge like a master. 2021 showed us what we were doing wrong, showed us what we needed to change, showed us what we needed to do better. 2021 is our chance to apply all that and do better. I'm going to try to make 2021 my best year ever. Even though the lockdowns aren't over, even though the pandemic's not gone, even though everything's not returned to normal and all that stuff, we could still make 2021 a really good year. Even if we don't have all the situations and social connections and stuff like that we want. And even though we can't shake hands with each other, we're all doing the fist bump now. Yogi, do the fist bump. Come on, do the fist bump. So we have to find a way to be in 2021 in a better way. Even if it may not be the best year ever, like after 2020, it would be nice to have a really good year, but this thing is going to take some time. We may not even be halfway through for all we know. So we have to find a way to be able to move through it. Even though these challenges are still there, can we do them more gracefully? Can we do them better? Can we do them more masterfully? Can we be in 2021 in such a way where we're not suffering, even though we're limited, even though there's kind of this looming scariness about the future that might make us think that, you know, gosh, is it ever going to be okay? But I think it will. Sooner or later. Hopefully sooner than later. Right, Yogi? But we can't change it. We can't force what we want to happen. Yes, I love you too. We can't force what we want to happen to happen. In a way, I've never been in the alcoholic circles or anything, the AA meetings, but they have a prayer called the Serenity Prayer that I've always found really useful, called the Serenity Prayer. And it goes something like this. Give me the courage to change the things that I can. Give me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, and the wisdom to know the difference. I mean, does it get any more profound than that? So, what do you think, Yogi? Can you do the Serenity Prayer? Yogi, listen to the Serenity Prayer. But it doesn't get much more profound than that. So how can we approach 2021 in a serenity way, in a way that has courage to change things we can, the serenity to accept the things that we can't change, like lockdowns and pandemics and loss of our normal, and how can we be wise enough to know the difference and stay out of the fight. If there's a fight brewing, how can we just stay out of the fight? You gonna stay out of the fight, Yogi? Mwah. Are you gonna stay out of the fight? Yogi's a lover, not a fighter. We're all lovers, not fighters. So let's be a lover in 2021, not a fighter. And we do have to fight the oppression. We do have to fight. I don't want to get specific about the things because everybody has different opinions on what needs to be fought and what needs to be addressed. But no matter what happens, accept what's going on and do what you can to change it. Do what you can and change what you can. But if there are things that you can't change, oh, yes, I love you. Yes, I love you. If there are things that you cannot change, then you have to accept those or you're going to suffer. So let's make 2021 one of the best years ever. Let's really look at 2020 and look at it as a gift, not with resentment. Look at it as a teaching. It was like 20 years worth of teachings in 1 year, right? It was like years worth of spiritual growth in 1 year. And that's not a bad thing. It might have been a little tough, it might have been a little rough. Here, we gotta get Yogi in the picture here. Because Yogi's such a star. He's so handsome. Yeah, Yogi's so handsome, huh? So we have to get this whole thing under our belts in a way that doesn't feel like something terrible that we suffered through. That it was, well, it was something terrible that we suffered through, but something that we resent. Put it under a belt with a resentment. 2020, don't leave 2020 with resentment. Leave it with gratitude. It was pretty much the beginning of the paradigm shift, so that's not such a bad thing. We've been waiting for it for a long time, in 2021, and Yogi says, yep, 2021 is the time where we apply what we learned in 2020, and 2020 was the chance to see what we've been waiting for. And now we know what we're up against. Almost. There's more to unfold. There's a lot more exposure that's going to happen. We haven't seen all of it yet. I don't even know if we've seen half of it yet, or even a fraction for all that matter. But let's embrace 2020 as the gift that it was for our spiritual growth. I'm looking at 2020 as the serious Zen training that it was. It was serious Zen training. It was probably more growth than has happened in, say, 5 years, 10 years worth of time. So that's a thing to be grateful for, because then we can walk more masterfully in 2021. So let's make 2021 a good year and look forward to it instead of dreading it. I don't know if it'll be good or bad, but I don't know if it could get much worse, because at least the shock is over. Hey, you got me dirty. You got some gravel on me. But let's be soft in our mind toward 2020. Let's soften our mental body toward it. Let's soften our attitude toward 2020. Let's try to look at 2020 in such a way that we don't just grimace every time we think about it. We don't just go, ugh, that horrible year. Let's try to look at 2020 in a way where we say, okay, it was a teaching, it was a big year, it was a tough one, but I'm really glad that I grew and got the lessons that, in a way, I've been trying to get for years and years and years, and maybe even a lifetime. I mean, which one of us didn't revisit our childhood issues and have to do some healing around that? Because, I mean, I know some of my I was like, gosh, how is this program even still here? I thought I fixed that long time ago. I thought I got through that long ago. So we've all faced our loneliness, we've all faced our sadness, we've all faced our distress, our frustration, our anger. We've been through the whole gamut of all the negative emotions, fear, anxiety. We've been through the whole gamut. I mean, we went through the whole scale of the negative emotions, and it was a challenge to stay positive, right? For most. Some people got lucky, but for most people, it was a challenge to put a smile on our face behind those masks. Yogi's always smiling, but Yogi's never not smiling. Except when he wants a piece of bread that he can't have. But it was a year that taught us a lot. Let's be grateful for that. Look back on 2021, I skipped a year ahead already. Look back on 2020 with gratitude and grace, and embrace what you've been given through 2020. You got through some old programs that you might have been trying to get through for a long time. You've gotten through letting go of things that you've needed to let go of for a long time. You've rearranged your boundaries, you've rearranged your friendships, you've rearranged all the old vibrations that didn't work for you anymore. They're gone now, and now you're open to new vibrations, which means that your friendships are going to go into a higher vibrational state. Your relations, your situations, your job, everything's going to be in a better vibrational state now. So be grateful to 2020 for giving that to you. 2020 did you a favor. I know that might sound crazy right now, but really, that is the case. 2020 was a good year. Think of it that way. It was a good year for spiritual growth. It was a good year for change. It was a good year for cleansing. It was a good year for the shadow work on an individual and a mass level. And it's going to continue into 2021, but now we're going to enter 2021 with more, shall we say, masterfulness, stamina, patience, more of the acceptance that we need to have for reality, accepting what is, all that good stuff. So 2021, thank you for the lessons. 2021, thank you for all the teachings. Thank you for the changes. Thank you for the letting go of the old and bringing in the new. Thank you, 2020. And let's hope we never have to repeat a year like that. Let's hope we don't need the smackdown to get our teachings again on the individual or the mass level. And let's just think softly about 2020 now as we leave on this last day of 2020, December 31st, 2020. Woo! This is a good day, the transition day. Repeat after me. I appreciate and am grateful for everything I got in 2020. I am absorbing of all the lessons so I don't have to repeat them that 2020 gave me. I look back on 2020 with grace, with patience, with tolerance, and love.